Did you get injured at work? Or do you have pain that is possibly related to work? If so, this is a short introductory video about work-related injuries and illnesses and workers' compensation. If you experience an injury or illness that happened at work or was caused by something at work, you should always report the incident to your manager. You should report the incident to your human resources department. If you work for a large company, find out if you have an occupational health department or if there is a company nurse. If you find out the name and phone number of your job's workers' compensation insurance company, you can also call them directly. Someone at work will be able to provide you with the workers' compensation claim form, also called the DWC-1, and this form needs to be submitted in order for you to notify your workers' compensation insurance company that you had an incident at work. This slide is just to show you a very simple comparison of using your own health insurance versus using your job's workers' compensation insurance. An important point that I'd like to make is that you cannot see both your own doctor and the occupational medicine doctor to get treatment for the same injury or illness. Looking at the left side, if you get sick, you go to the doctor. That is covered by your health plan. So your personal health insurance company will pay for part of that bill. You will pay for the remainder of anything that is not covered. Looking at the right side, your job should have a workers' compensation insurance company that will pay up to 100% of your hospital bill if you needed to go to the hospital for an emergency, for your doctor's follow-up visits, any prescription medications, any therapy, surgery if needed. Depending on how serious your work-related injury or illness is, you may have to visit the emergency room. This will be paid for by the workers' comp insurance. You don't have to fill out the paperwork, the claim form, also called the DWC-1 form, before seeing the doctor in the emergency room at a hospital if it's an emergency situation. But the sooner that you fill out the claim form, the faster that bill will be paid for so that the hospital doesn't charge your personal health insurance. They can submit the bill to the workers' comp insurance. Let's say you don't have an emergency situation. You get in contact with human resources, your company nurse, or the workers' comp insurance. You'll be instructed on which doctor you should see to get a proper diagnosis and recommendation for any treatment. This will most likely be an occupational medicine doctor that is within the workers' comp insurance network. You may not see your own personal doctor unless you are told by the workers' comp insurance company that it's okay to do so, but this is very rare. The reason that you can't see your own personal doctor is that most likely they will not accept the workers' comp insurance payments because this is normally a lot less than they are used to getting paid for their services. There's a lot more to say about this, but since this is an intro to workers' comp, I'll have to make a separate video for it. Here's a list of some common injuries that are accepted or paid for by workers' compensation insurance. Repetitive motion activities at work, which would involve feeling pain in the fingers, wrists, hands, arms, elbows, shoulders, neck, and upper back, caused by using the keyboard and mouse for work, using any kind of tools that require forceful or awkward body positions, or carrying any heavy items repeatedly. We also see a lot of slips, trips, and falls at work, slipping on some water on the floor in the cafeteria, slipping on a puddle when it's raining outside, walking from the garage into the front of the building. Those are also normally 100% covered by workers' compensation insurance, whether it's just a simple ankle sprain or breaking a leg or head injury. Also, burning the skin from food or drink at work, carrying hot coffee, hot water, pouring hot soup, and suffering from a first, second, third degree burn on your skin to where you need to see a doctor and get wound care, that is normally 100% covered by workers' comp insurance. Any skin reaction or lung injury from being exposed to a chemical or substance at work, that we also commonly see depending on the nature of your work. If you're working in a factory, if you're exposed to chemicals that you have to personally handle or that are just in the vicinity of the area that you are working in. So there's a lot of different categories of injuries or illnesses. This is just some of the common ones that I've seen. So this is a simplified overview of the workers' compensation process. In step one, you report your injury or illness to your manager, HR department, or occupational health clinic or company nurse. Your employer should provide you with a DWC-1 claim form. You fill out the section that asks you for your name, address, the date of injury, time of injury, area that was injured, and the cause of being injured, your social security number, and your signature. Your employer fills out the bottom section, and they are responsible for submitting the form to their workers' compensation insurance company. Within 1 day of turning in the claim form, your employer must authorize medical treatment under the industrial guidelines to a maximum of $10,000 while investigating your claim. So that just means basically that you are not delayed from receiving care whether or not your injury or illness was related to work. You are authorized to be referred to a doctor or to get treatment within 1 day so as not to delay your um, healing time. So basically, whether you're seen in the hospital or seen at an occupational medicine doctor's office, they can at least make the initial diagnosis and say whether or not the injury or illness was related to work or if you should see your own personal doctor. Now, looking at step two, within 14 business days, the workers' compensation insurance company should send you a letter that either says they have accepted your claim and your treatment will be paid for, or that your claim is denied and they will not pay for your treatment. That normally happens if a doctor says that your injury or illness is not related to work or not caused by work. Or the third letter that you could receive is that your claim will be delayed because of further investigation where they need to collect more information. It can take up to 90 days. So far in my experience, I've seen this happen where there's a delay and a further investigation to see if your injury or illness was related to work, mostly for stress claims, being stressed out at work, but there's no physical manifestation. You don't have physical symptoms. You weren't physically hit by an employee. So those stress-related claims are very, very hard to prove. There's still a lot to say about each step of the workers' compensation process, so I'll have to make another video about that. But let's say that your claim is accepted. Let's say you had right wrist pain from using the mouse. You're referred to see an occupational medicine doctor, and they say do 6 appointments of physical therapy. So you start that treatment, you finish the treatment. The doctor says you don't need surgery. You have very little to no pain, in which case your claim or your case will be closed. So I will go ahead and make more videos explaining the workers' comp process. I hope that you found this video informative. I hope that you now know what to do if you have an injury or illness at work. Please subscribe and check out my other videos soon to come, and thanks for watching.